My name is Roger Armstrong, and I was born a psychic child in 1930. A strong vision is needed for an artist to select what reality he wants to predict or create. I had one student who would sit in front of his canvas, and it's a 24 by 36 canvas, and look at it for 2 days. And then he'd start. It was like he would peel off from the upper left-hand corner. He would peel off his image, and he would paint as he went. Not going over the whole thing, just painting it as he unveiled it. And then he got to the end, and the painting was done, and he signed his name. I met a man in Talent, Oregon, that painted like that. Except he did big canvases, 4 by 4. And he worked for a while as a scenic painter in Hollywood. But he didn't last very long because no one else could share his vision. So he'd work on this big flat all by himself. And start at the upper left-hand corner and peel down. And the 15-foot by 30-foot background would be done. But he was too slow for Hollywood. They wanted 4 or 5 people working on it, and he couldn't do that. Okay. I had another student, a young woman, who looked at the blank canvas, and she'd mix a color and dab it here and there and here and there and over here. Then she'd mix another color, and she'd dab it here and there and here and there all through. And then another color, and then another color, and then another color, always knowing exactly where she wanted that color to go. She was depicting realistic landscapes that included houses and trees, and from a raised view that went off into the distance. And she knows exactly where she wants the exact color to go. And she'd get, done. She said, well, I'm finished. And it would be marvelous painting. Realistic painting. Now, I helped her by having her understand that not many professors, if she went to college and took a painting class, are going to understand what she's doing. And that she should work on 2 canvases, one in the class where she had to develop the whole thing continuously, and then do the other one in her room where she was working the way she was working, because she could work twice as fast because she knew it so much. Okay. Now, some artists depend on the canvas's direction. There are several artists in history, Wyeth, the other guy, forget his name. But anyway, he constantly complained that the canvas wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do. The canvas was fighting him. So he'd end up with a bad painting. Now, when he let the canvas decide what it wanted, what was appropriate for it, it turned out to be a marvelous painting. But he didn't like it because he felt it wasn't his. Very interesting. Now, Wyeth did small paintings, and he was a super realistic, better than photographic painters. And he said, what you leave out is more important than what you put in. So his were minimal, and little tiny brushstrokes. But the canvas helped him define what he was going to do. All right. Now, within our reality creation system, we have 6 mind brains. One is the conscious mind, and that's the ego. And then there's the limbic, the primal, the cellular, and the liquid body mind. All of these contribute to the consciousness, the conscious mind. Now, I call these 5 the spherical mind, and they join together to make decisions. And contribute, they all contribute to the conscious mind's perception of reality. But the conscious mind has to be open to their suggestions. And sometimes it is not. Okay. Now that kind of ends this segment, but I want to add that all of the information that I give out, all my videos, are protected by an intention that I attach to them. Now, when I first started doing my videos, people wrote in and said, what if a bad person wants to use these? So I came up with the protective intention attached, that is attached to the information, not to the wielder of the information. So, if you're using remote viewing or these views of reality to harm people, it won't work. And regardless of how often the information is passed on, since the intention is attached, the preventive intention is attached to the object, it won't happen. So I've had some people call me phony because they could do everything, but they couldn't use it because their intention was not a healthy one. At least that portion of what they wanted to do was not.
Same thing.
My name is Roger Armstrong. I was born a psychic child in 1930, and my website is wasapsychicchild.com.